All right, good morning. It's 11:25 already. We're in Maine. Shadow's here, and got a little ways to go yet. It took about 150 miles to go, but we're getting there. And the roads have been clear. There's an accident on 84 East in Connecticut. That took some time up. But other than that, we're making good time. Weather's nice. There's not a cloud in the sky. We're at the point where the leaves are just starting to turn. There's a lot of color, but still a lot of green. But yeah, we'll check back in later. Just stop for gas and back on the road. Check in later. Just beautiful out. All right, we're not too far from our destination now. And I gotta tell you, I picked the absolute perfect weekend to come up here. Shadow's in the bushes, sniffing around. Maybe they'll find a bird, who knows. But the colors, the words are useless. All right, here we are. Just kind of down a road to the end. This is where it ends. There's nothing back here. This is where they had done some logging a couple years ago. Shadow's exploring. Campsite I wanted to go to already had people at it. So we'll have to look for a campsite tomorrow when we're driving around, going to some of the spots we want to hunt. But pretty much you're at the end of a road. Nobody's going to come down here tonight. I'll be all right. Got the tent set up. Took a little walk. Getting ready to cook a little dinner. Nothing fancy tonight. Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, the colors on the trees are as good as I've ever seen in my life. So, right, Shadow? Here. Here. He's exploring. That's it. Good morning. It's about 6:30, almost 7 o'clock, and we slept really good. And we're just getting some breakfast going. Shadow's there, warming up by the fire. It's a little gas fire pit I bought. I usually don't use that, but if you're not at a designated campsite out here that they call an authorized campsite, then you can't have a fire without a permit from the state. And that helps me warm up in the morning, and because it doesn't leave sparks and it doesn't leave hot coals, it's not a fire hazard in the same way the regular wood fire would be. So, hold on, we'll show you some breakfast in a minute. All right, I try to get things as organized as I can before I go, but once I come out and what I need kind of finds its way to the top of the pile. But now we have this crate here has got all my essential cooking stuff in it. I got this nice little stove here that I'm using to heat water. Make some coffee, and could do some coffee and oatmeal this morning. I took the time before this trip. I went and pre-packaged all my single-serving coffees, ground all my coffee, got all my, what else I got in here? Single-use granola for yogurt, which I usually do for breakfast. But that's my little setup. That's my little battery box. That's what powers my CPAP. I sleep with a CPAP at night, and I'll get 2 or 3 nights, usually about 3 nights worth of up to 8 to 10 hours of sleep with one charge on that battery box. So it's perfect for a long weekend. So get some breakfast. Oh, and this is great for camping. This is a little USB powered water pump. I have one in my classroom. I have another one in my camping gear, and that's how I bring easy 5 gallons of water with me. Shadow's working hard. This is a old cut. They cut strips. They don't clear cut. They come through, they put, they're not really roads, they're just what they call skid trails. And then they'll come in and they'll cut the bigger trees out. You can see some pieces left over there. And they'll drag them back out the skid trails. And they leave the small trees behind to regrow. And makes the whole process of forest regrowth faster. The trees that are left behind get more resources and end up growing at a faster rate. Shadow's working hard. He's doing well. We just had him. He made a beeline down into the woods down here. This stuff is super, super thick, and that comes from it being cut at one time and then growing back a lot of small trees in here. So, you know, you kind of walk these overgrown roads. And this one was real tight way back where we started. And right away we flushed a grouse that I missed. It's opened up a little bit. And kind of hoping you'll find a bird close enough to the road that it might fly out into the open. You get a shot at it. He went down and flushed one, and it flew the other direction down into the woods. So we're going to keep walking because there's definitely birds out around here. There he comes. Good boy. I grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania, and, you know, I'll be honest, some years trees just go from green to brown, depending on environmental conditions. I can't remember a time in my life where I actually saw the leaves really right at the peak of the change, where you had all the colors, the reds, the yellows, the oranges, mixed in with the greens, with a absolutely blue sky. So, really lucky to be here. It's hot out. Shadow's down to getting a swim. A lot of water in the woods. Out of there, Shadow. A lot of water out here. There's been a lot of rain in this fall, so he just did a great job. He found two birds right around the corner from me. One flushed out and flew away. I just kind of saw a flash of his wings between the trees. The second one came out, pulled a U-turn midair, and flew straight back in my direction. I let it pass me, tried to swing on it, missed it, went in the woods. We followed it in. We got a second flush on it, but I couldn't even see which way it went from there. So that's a total of 8 birds flushed today so far. 3 of which I never saw, 2 of which I had shots at. Secondary flush on that last one. And then 2 birds that we saw on the road. And they flushed before we got a chance to get out. But hey, Shadow's done a good job today. He's got 6 flushes on his own. And I've missed 2 birds that I could have had. So he's acting silly. I'm going to go. All right, we're done hunting for the day. I got my tent set up here. This is an old spot where there was a logging operation. This is the same spot I set up last year. And it was a nice spot to camp, so we figured we would come back to it. A good day. You know, we always end a little early because I got to let the dog rest before we hunt tomorrow. But we're going to get some dinner cooking in just a little bit and see how... probably have a nice night camping here again. It's a lot warmer than it was. Now, today's about the same as it was the second 2 days last year. Last year, the first night was cold. So, we're good to go. It's going to take a little while to make dinner. So, we got some pre-dinner snacks ready to go. In here, I've got potatoes, onions, peppers from my garden, lots of herbs, some olive oil, some salt, some pepper. And we're going to seal that up. That's the lid and a frying pan, which is nice. So, we're going to seal that up. And we're going to try and cook that over the propane fire pit. And after that's done, we'll take the lid off. We got a nice little steak ready to go there. And I got my Diet Coke. So that's it. I'll let you know. I'll update you in a little while when we have some food ready. I'd say that's going to work. Good morning. About 8:20, and we got a good night's sleep and a good breakfast. Shadow slept like a rock, but he is ready to go. And we're gonna do some hunting. So it's a beautiful night, cold, a little frost this morning. Wanted to get on the road about an hour ago, but we took our time. That's it. Check in later. All right, it's 11:20. Just finished up our first hunting spot of the day. We walked we've had a long old road that we walked out, probably about 1.5 miles each way, plus off to the side here and there where there was good cover. We flushed 3 birds. One of them flew up into a tree and I couldn't spot it in the tree, and then it flushed again and flew out the other direction deeper into the woods, so I didn't get a shot at that one. The other 2 were layups that I should have crushed, and I'm embarrassed to say I whiffed on both of them, but what can you do? Shadow worked hard. He found birds a couple times. So we're gonna move to another spot now, another road not as long as that last one, and see how we do. We're gonna run out of time about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock today. We're gonna be back into Greenville about 4 o'clock. So definitely gonna take about 2 hours to get there. So I think we'll probably have to get on the move. Probably start packing stuff up and get stuff organized around 1:30, and then be on the road back by 2. So we're gonna get there by about 4. So that's it. We'll keep trying. If I had to bet money, I'd say this tree was beat up by a moose. All the branches are broken off it. You could see a lot of damage on it. I'm feeling a moose just came in here, a bull moose, and just beat up on this tree. Seen lots of tracks, trails, droppings. Haven't seen a moose. One of these trips, I hope to see a moose. But hopefully while I'm in my truck, not out here in the woods. All right, I just knocked down a bird. Shadow just put one out of over here, and I knocked it down over here on the left. Find that bird, Shadow. Over here. 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 Find it. Find a bird over here. There you go. Find it. Find it. Find it. A lot of feathers came out, but you can still see them flying, so it's in there. He'll find it. It's down. Here. Find that bird. Find that bird. Find that bird. Fetch it here. Come on, Shadow. Find it. I think it went down somewhere right in there. Shadow, find this bird here. Here. Come here. Right in there it went down. He's going to find it there. Find it. Fetch it here. Fetch it here. Good boy. Here. Fetch it. Fetch it. Fetch it. Leave it. Leave it. Oh, that's a nice bird. Nice bird. We smoked him though, didn't we? We beat him up. Leave it. Whew. Oh, let me lean my gun up here against a small tree if I can. There we go. Whew. All right. Leave it, leave it, leave it. Don't, no more feathers. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Got a good fan on it. Got a real nice fan on it. Sit. Kind of beat him up. Well, buddy. Well, we were about to give up, and Shadow found us a bird, and it's a nice one with a nice tail fan. And he's pretty tired, and he wants to get down. Beat it up pretty bad. Got a nice tail fan on it. I'm happy about that. That's gonna go. That's gonna get salted and dried and put up on the wall. That's a real nice fan on that. So pretty excited. Worthwhile day. Worthwhile trip. All right, so we cleaned up that bird, and here's our crop contents. I don't know if you can see this, but these look like this bird was eating mushrooms in there. And it kind of busted and spilled all over, so there's probably some seeds and stuff in there too, but definitely mostly mushroom pieces. Interesting. Well, it's now, you can't see, it's about 3:30, and it's about 10 after 1 when we started working our way back. A little bit of a delay at the checkpoint, check it out, because there was so many moose hunters checking in. But we're back on the hard road now, on the pavement, and about 20 minutes we'll be in Greenville. So Shadow is worn out. He hasn't picked his head up. It was a bouncy ride. It always is coming out. But yeah, it's been a good trip so far. We're going to get into Greenville. We're going to take a shower, maybe a little nap, get ourselves a cheeseburger, and maybe even watch a Penn State game. So that's it. That's it for now, at least. So down there is the town of Greenville, Maine. And we are up on the hill above it at the Greenville Inn. There's the main house over there. Can't really see it with the sun. It's just like classic, gorgeous old mansion inside. Mountains in the background. Down there to the right, can't see through the trees, is where the Moosehead Lake is. And up here, up here are these cabins. There's a bunch of them, but we're in the one on the right. And there's some other ones here. Take a walk up here. Come on, Shadow. I don't know if I locked it or not. I don't think I did. And so here's our cabin for the night. Got the bed here, right by the window. Just a little seating area there. Bathroom with a shower. Love it. So yeah, nothing there. But pretty happy. Don't think it's heated by that wood stove. I wish it was. That would have been great. Beautiful. Check in later. Well, this is the Greenville Inn. It's not a very good video, I know. And it overlooks, down there you can see the harbor in Greenville. And it's beautiful inside. It's an old mansion. I felt weird taking the camera out and taking pictures, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. It was a great place to stay. I was in one of the cabins off the backside, but it's beautiful. And now we're gonna hit the road.